Footballology. So yesterday, after I put out my Combine Day 2, 3, 4 video, I went back and I wanted to go watch just a whole bunch of videos on what everyone else was saying. You know, it was Monday. So I want to see what a lot of other people were saying as far as the Combine goes, what they think should go first, best quarterback, things like that. I just like to listen to what everyone is saying. So in the process of doing all this, after Saquon had the Saturday that he had, which was phenomenal, a lot of people feel like he should be a consensus number 1 overall pick. And I feel the same way. I feel like he should be the number 1 overall pick, hands down. But a lot of people didn't feel the same way. A lot of people feel like that getting Sam Darnold there at that position, or Josh Allen, just a quarterback in general, that was the best way for the Cleveland Browns to go. So I'm listening to everyone just consistently keep saying this. Oh, the Browns should get a quarterback. The Browns should get a quarterback. The Browns should get a quarterback. Browns need a quarterback. Browns need a quarterback. Like, it's just everywhere. And basically that Saquon Barkley shouldn't go at that position. And that he should go number 2 to the Giants, because for some reason it's okay for him to go to the Giants that has no offensive line, that hasn't protected Eli Manning for the last 3 years. They should go get a running back that, you know, barely can run the ball, but they should go get a running back. That's what the Giants need. They need a running back at that position, or at that spot at the number 2. And it's just like, it's frustrating. And just hearing that the Cleveland Browns should go get a quarterback is basically saying Deshone Kizer is just trash. So as you can see by the name of this video, defend Deshone. I don't see why we can't stick with Deshone Kizer for another year as far as the Cleveland Browns go. I'm a fan of the NFL, and I like the Cleveland Browns. I hope they do well. I root for them every year. I like to watch their games. I like their roster sometimes. They have one of the best offensive linemen in the league in my generation alone, and he's one of my favorite players. So personally, I feel like that they should just stay with Deshone Kizer, honestly. And I don't see why they need to go get a quarterback at the position, especially the number 1 spot. Personally, the way I think the Browns draft should go is, you know, get Saquon at the 1, help out Deshone Kizer. And I'm going to get into all this a little bit further. Just give me a second. And at the number 4 spot, try to trade back and see if somebody wants to come up and get a quarterback, or see who else is on the board, and see if those other teams that are picking in the 20s or in the teens want to come up and get a guy that they really fell in love with. So we're going to get into this video as far as what I meant as far as defending Deshone. I keep repeating myself. But I feel like we should. I feel like Deshone Kizer is a starting quarterback for the NFL. I feel like he's a prototypical quarterback. He has a nice arm. He's prototypical size. The dude can do it, and he's athletic. He's sneaky athletic. And so it's like, in my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of people are just throwing in the towel on him after 1 year. Now, granted, it was his rookie year. Wasn't the best year of his career. I think he has a lot more better years ahead of him. But it was a horrible year. Yes, he was. He was a rookie quarterback. He went in the second round for a reason. He had accuracy issues, things like this. Like, we knew what he was. He won the starting job for the Cleveland Browns, which isn't saying much, but he won it. You know, you won an NFL starting quarterback position. Like, you didn't just do that overnight. He earned it. And clearly Hugh Jackson and the other Cleveland Browns coaching staff and all those guys clearly seen something in him. And so they went with him. There was a couple of times throughout the season he benched him. I know he had like a migraine issue in one game. He didn't start another game, but he wound up coming in and playing that game. He had a horrible rookie year, plain and simple. He's a quarterback, and he had a hell of an offseason going into the NFL season. And then, you know, he had to learn a new system. Give him a chance, man. Just give him a chance. And basically what I'm trying to say in this video is that, yeah, he struggled, but let's look at the reasons. Like, let's just look at some things. You know, he did lose Joe Thomas at one point throughout the year. Not saying that was the biggest part, but you lost your starting left tackle, a guy that you know for a fact that's just not going to let you get hit from blindside. All right, so you lose him. You didn't get one of your big prototypical receivers back until well late into the season. And you seen what he did when he got Josh Gordon back. He was targeting Josh Gordon, and they were drawing up plays for him. Corey Coleman ended up getting hurt early in the year, and you seen that him and Corey Coleman had some rapport in there. And David Njoku really was just still trying to find his way as the NFL tight end, which is going to be hard for him, because I think with Hugh Jackson's system, he likes to do a lot with the tight end position. It's going to take a while for David Njoku to get going, but I still feel like he can do it. Looking at the Cleveland Browns offensive line, I think it's fair. I think it's decent. But then we flip it to the other side of the ball. You got no cornerback play. Your number one overall pick was banged up for most of the year, so he didn't even get to play. You still generated some defense. And FYI, I'm not a big fan of Greg Williams in Cleveland. I just think he's a horrible defensive coordinator. Everywhere he's gone, it's just been bad. And I did my research on this. It's just he's never had a defense that can truly produce. Like, he just never. Just go do the research for yourself and tell me what you think. But personally, Greg Williams is a horrible DC. Even when he was in New Orleans defense wasn't even that good. The only reason we know Greg Williams' name is because of Bounty Gate. It's just, it's a joke. He's a joke. We're not going to get into that. So, from Deshone Kizer's standpoint, you really didn't have a lot going for you, and you didn't have a chance to really build any kind of chemistry with Josh Gordon because, that whole scenario and that situation. I personally think Isaiah Correll is okay running back. He's a backup running back. Duke Johnson's a backup running back. You got 2 backup running backs, and I know everyone's saying, oh, all the running backs are interchangeable, blah, 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 blah. Let's be real. Saquon Barkley could play all 3 downs. And with the running back rotation that they had in Cleveland, you knew when Correll was in the game, 9 times out of 10 it was going to be a run, maybe a splash of a pass here and there. And the same thing goes for Duke Johnson. When he was in the game, you knew it was going to be a pass. 9 times out of 10, maybe a run. I mean, a little bit of run, scat, whatever. Who knows? It was just, that's what it was when it came to the run game. You get Saquon Barkley out there, you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know if they're going to run, you don't know if they're going to pass, you don't know if it's screenplay, bubble screen, whatever. Saquon does do more for the Cleveland Browns than people would expect. And, when you think about it, as far as, he can catch the ball in the backfield, the guy's a home run hitter, which it's beautiful, okay? When you really think about it, and, when I'm starting to, defend Deshone, and when I get into it, as far as, look at some of the quarterbacks that we've had that have success now. Take Matt Ryan, for instance. When Matt Ryan first came into the league, the Atlanta Falcons went out. They got Tony G. Not that same year. I think it was the following year. He ended up getting Julio. He had Tony G. I think that year that he got drafted, they ended up getting Mike Turner, which was a premier running back at the time. He was showing signs that he could be a starting running back behind LT. He went in Atlanta. He did some things for a couple of years. And he had a defense that was adequate enough. So when it came down to it, Matt Ryan didn't have to do a lot his first year in the NFL. And he just had to sit back, don't mess it up, and try to win games. Deshone Kizer didn't have that luxury. I think he had an average run game, average to below average run game. He had a defense that could make plays when they wanted to, but gave up big plays when they wanted to. That was pretty much what the Cleveland Browns defense was this year. So that was Matt Ryan. But now, he fast forward a couple of years. Now look where Matt Ryan's at. Possibly going to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL because he had an opportunity and a chance to grow. And even though these quarterbacks are coming out of college and they're starting day one, they're in a situation where they have an opportunity and a chance to grow. Ben Roethlisberger was in the same situation, had a good defense, had a solid run game, and had an opportunity and a chance to grow. You look at some other quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, same situation, good defense, solid run game, had an opportunity and a chance to grow. Aaron Rodgers got to sit for 3 years behind Brett Favre, got to see how it's done, groomed himself into a starting quarterback, and a quarterback that everyone feels like is the best quarterback, or if not, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And then the list just goes on. I looked up all these guys, I looked up all these quarterbacks, and their rookie campaign wasn't nothing to be in all. It was a horrible year, so to speak. And Peyton Manning had a crazy year, and I'm not comparing Kizer. Now, let me clear this up. I'm not saying Kizer is going to be Matt Ryan, Joe Flacco, or Ben Roethlisberger, or Peyton Manning. I'm just saying that these are some quarterbacks that nobody gave up on them in their first year. So why are we giving up on Deshone Kizer in their first year, or in his first year? Peyton Manning in his first year. Now, I feel like he's an exception to this because it's Peyton Manning, and you just knew who he was. He had 4,500 yards. Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong year. Sorry. He had, in his first year, 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. All right. It's Peyton Manning. You knew he was going to throw for a lot. Plus, the Indianapolis Colts got rid of Marshall Faulk. It was all bad. That was all bad. Aaron Rodgers, in his first career year that he started, had 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Now, Aaron Rodgers, I feel like, is also an exception to this because he had an opportunity to sit for 3 years. So he really had a chance to really learn and develop his game into what he wanted it to be. And then he'd still have an opportunity over time to grow himself into the quarterback we see today. Alex Smith, which anybody that watched my channel knows that I'm not a huge Alex Smith fan, he didn't get good until Harbaugh got there. Alex Smith he should have been a backup quarterback this whole entire time. I mean, you look at his first couple of seasons, he didn't do anything. He really didn't do anything until Harbaugh got there. And even then, he didn't take it over to the top. He just learned how to not to turn over the ball. And that's how he won games. So then you look at Ben Roethlisberger's first year, rookie campaign, 2,600 yards, 17 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Nothing to be gaudy about. It's all right. It's his rookie year. That's what you expect. The following year, he threw for 17 touchdowns and 2 less interceptions, 9 interceptions. And in his third season, he threw for 18 touchdowns and 23 interceptions. So, but yet we're not calling for Ben Roethlisberger's head. We never called for his head, not one time. And you know why? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers were winning games with their defense and run game. That's the best way to groom a young quarterback. So this is what I'm saying. Saquon Barkley, number 1 overall, is not a joke. It's an actual true thing. It's something that you truly need. And you don't need to give up Deshone Kizer. You don't need to go get AJ McCarron. Save your money if you're Cleveland. If you want to build your roster, take Saquon at number 1. Trade your 4th overall pick. Personally, I think a team like Buffalo, I'll get them on the horn and say, hey, give me your 2 1s and give me a 3 next year. Come up and get this 4th round pick. I'll take those 2 1s in the late second or in the late first round, and I'll probably still go get 2 defensive studs that can bolster my secondary. Personally, that's the way I look at it. Because I think if you get like a Josh Jackson, that'd be pretty cool. You know, they need corner help. That'd be something perfect for Cleveland. So, I mean, these are just some of the quarterbacks. Let's say we look at Matt Ryan's year. Matt Ryan's first year, he threw for 3,400 yards, 16 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And so now Deshone Kizer's rookie year is completely and by far the worst because I think he was just in a really shitty situation in Cleveland. And like I said, he had a lot of things going against him. He didn't have the defense. He didn't have the run game. He didn't have the wide receiver weapons or the weapons to catch the ball because David Njoku's still growing. Lost Corey Coleman. And you've seen him and Corey Coleman were growing together. You've seen that for sure. And then you've seen what happened when he got Josh Gordon back. And so his rookie campaign, 2,800 yards, 11 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. Now, granted, I will admit that I've watched some of his games. I watched a lot of Deshone Kizer because I was a huge Kizer supporter. He was on my fantasy team. I thought he was going to be a sneaky pick, a guy that you can leave in there and play for a couple of games. But he was forcing a lot of passes. And he was trying to make a lot happen when nothing wasn't there. He was trying to see something that wasn't there. And I don't know if that was just bad route running. I don't know if that was bad timing. I don't know if that was just a poor decision on his part. But a lot of that stuff takes into account when interceptions occur. At the end of the day, it's on his stat line. It says he threw 22 interceptions. And he ran for 5 touchdowns, 419 yards rushing. That's something that you can't get out of a quarterback, in my personal opinion. Like, you're not going to get a quarterback to roll out of bed and give you 500 yards on the ground every year. You're just not. And so, we were getting ready to write off Jared Goff just a year ago. Now, he only played 6 games. We didn't give him a full season. Jared Goff, you're out. And that was it. And it was just like, why? Sean McVay came in, tightened up the ship. Todd Gurley started running the ball. They bolstered their offensive line. Got TG running the ball like he was supposed to, like we knew he could. And we got that defense right. And guess what? Jared Goff got a chance to settle in. You bring in a Robert Woods. You bring in Sammy Watkins. You little sprinkle in a Cooper Kupp. Jared Goff is a quarterback that we all respect now. What the hell? So now you understand why I feel the way I do about Deshone Kizer and why I feel like the Cleveland Browns should be okay and comfortable with taking Saquon Barkley at number 1. I feel like taking Saquon, and let's hope and pray. I want to see Joe Thomas play at least another 3 seasons, possibly get into just get to the playoff game. Let him taste that playoff game just one time, and let the man just know that the playoffs were possibly obtainable for him at one point in his career. Hopefully Joe Thomas comes back for another year. You bring in Saquon, and you say, let's run the fucking ball. Saquon, I'm going to let you know right now, day one, bro. You're getting anywhere from 25 to 30 touches. You're probably going to get 20 on the ground and another 10 through the air. And this is how we're going to do things. The offense is going to come through you. We're going to take less off Kizer's plate. We're going to take some off Kizer's plate. We're going to say, Kizer, you're going to throw this little seam route to Josh Gordon. You're going to throw a little hitch route to Corey Coleman. Something simple to David Njoku. And we're going to call it simple. And the rest is going to go right through Saquon. Plain and simple. And I think if you do that, you'll start to see what you've seen from Blake Bortles this year, which was another guy that I felt like I personally wrote off because he was struggling consistently. And guess what happened to Blake Bortles this year? He finally had an opportunity to grow into a quarterback that the Jacksonville Jaguars can believe in. You know why? He had a decent run game and a fucking stellar-ass defense. So if I'm Cleveland, don't listen to anybody. If you want to take Saquon, which I think you better, like 100%, you should already be on the phone with Saquon. Right? Like, nah, don't go visit this team. Don't go work out for this team. Don't do nothing. All I need you to do is stay in shape, stay healthy, and get ready for training camp day one. That's what I need from you, Saquon. And that's what Cleveland should be doing right now. Let the Giants know that you're on the clock and Saquon's off the board. Plain and simple. And I think if you do that, if you're Cleveland, you're going to help out Deshone Kizer. You're going to help out your team tremendously. You're going to keep the opposing offense off the field a lot more. And you have opportunity to get a home run hitter at the running back position, which is extremely rare. Like, everyone wants to, say the running back position has died off. Granted, Zeke Elliott inherited the offensive line. And, kudos to Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys scouting staff and all their coaching and everything. They did it right. They drafted an offensive line that we can all be in awe about. Like, we were just like, wow, look at that. And then you put a running back that I had questions about coming out. You take him number 4 overall, and everyone's like, whoa, all right, maybe. And then he goes out and runs for 1,600 yards in the rookie campaign. And if it wasn't for his legal issues this last season, he probably would have led the league in rushing. So when it came down to it, and Zeke Elliott, yeah, he got lucky, but Emmitt Smith did too, and Emmitt Smith ran for a lot of yards too. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna take that from Zeke Elliott, because there's sometimes you still have to run the ball, and even with that great offensive line, we still seen running backs kind of sort of struggle. Zeke Elliott makes it look easy. So I'm not gonna take anything from Zeke. I personally felt like he should have went to the Browns. The Browns didn't want him. They went somewhere else. It was crazy. But so when it comes down to it, I think personally, keep Deshone Kizer as your starting quarterback. This is me basically crying out for the Cleveland Browns to give somebody on their roster a true opportunity to grow into a quarterback and a talented player that they can be proud of for once. We've seen them ship off multiple guys, and those guys go off and they produce in other teams. Don't let Kizer be another guy like that unless he comes to Kansas City, but we got Pat Mahomes, so we might not see him. But still, I think Kizer is the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I think he is the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And there is no other quarterback that needs to be starting for the Cleveland Browns next year and for the future. Because I guarantee you, I would put money on it that if Deshone Kizer starts for the Cleveland Browns and Saquon Barkley is his running back and everything stays right. I'm not saying in the perfect world, injuries are going to happen. It happens. But if Saquon stays healthy and they can keep their offensive line intact and healthy, I don't see why Kizer can't be a quarterback that throws for 25 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Just like that. Like, I think it would flip that bad or flip just that dramatically. I don't see why we would do anything else other than really, I don't know. I don't see Cleveland having any other quarterback. The AJ McCarron, you had an opportunity to get that. It didn't happen for a reason. Things happen for a reason. You didn't get AJ McCarron for a reason. Don't take a quarterback. Don't hit the reset button on your team. Don't hurt your team if you're Cleveland. You've been down this road before. You take a rookie quarterback, you're going to have to leave with the rookie role. You're going to have to live with the rookie woes again and watch Saquon tear the league up from the stands. And then you're going to be like, oh, wow. And you're going to be right on that list. Oh, we could have had Saquon, but instead we took Sam Darnold. I don't think he's good. Or we took Josh Allen, which I do think he's good. I'm not going to deny that. If you take Josh Allen, you take Josh Allen. You passed on Carson Wentz, whoop-de-doo. You passed on Deshaun Watson. It happens. But I feel like Deshone Kizer can be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns and a player that they can be proud of. I don't see why not. Give the man an opportunity. Let fail. If you Hugh, man, I don't know how, but if you were somehow seeing this video, man, live and die with Deshone. Say fuck it, man. Like, seriously, what do you have to fucking lose? You went 0-16 last year. Fuck it. YOLO. Give me Saquon Barkley and do what you do, Hugh. Like, just do what you do. Draw up some offensive plays. Get these dudes running. Get them playing tough. Get them playing right. You got Todd Haley in house. And that dude's a crazy offensive-minded coach. And I respect him tremendously. I wish he was still here in Kansas City. So, personally, when it comes down to it, I think if any other quarterback, I would say outside of, if AJ McCarron or Deshone Kizer start next year, I think the Cleveland Browns are going to be okay. But if they go get a rookie quarterback, we're going to see the same old Cleveland. And then everyone will be like, oh, wow, maybe they should have went Saquon because Saquon's in New York or he's in Denver. No one's talked about him going to Denver. Maybe the Giants go Quentin Nelson. Saquon goes to Denver. Don't let him go to Denver. Oh, my God, don't let that happen. I mean, maybe they get him at 4. Who knows? But realistically, I won't take the chance of Saquon dressing up in anything else than brown and orange next year. That's just the way I look at it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had to get that off my chest. It was something that I wanted to say, and that's something I truly believe in. And I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, what the Cleveland Browns should do with the number 1 overall pick. Should they go Saquon? Should they trade back? Should they go quarterback? And stay safe, football fans. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll talk to y'all later.